what, who, when, where, how, why, somewhat.
Nothing, I was just looking through somewhere and it's not good.
No? That's...
Ow! Mercer's a hooker. And now you're Mercer 69? What the hell?
Of course that fucker is.
I mean, he was enough sixes already. Jesus, your mic! God!
I am so sorry.
Ow! The static, yeah, it's getting horrendous. Ah! God.
Is it better, I hope?
No, at the moment it's still doing a little bit. Now it's stopped. Nope. I mean, it's not as bad. It's just it's doing it here and there.
I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry too, man. Hey, at least it works enough to where we can talk daily. It's just you gotta keep yourself noted that it's gonna happen. That's what kind of is annoying, that it's an upkeep. And I hate that you have to keep doing it because you're talking to me. We're gonna have to figure out a lot of you guys' the situation. Mercer does want to stream and Supply does as well. We gotta like, I don't mind helping people out if you do want to like be part of my, as well as my community, but also want to chat with me. I don't mind helping you out and try to get you in a better situation. Even if you have a computer, buying you a mic alone or a better headset may help. If you have a normal headset, it shouldn't be doing that. But it's probably just getting old, or it's just whatever you're doing. It sounds like static though. It doesn't sound like you're rubbing against it so much here and there. I can hear.
It's a weird thing.
I can hear sounds of it being like rubbed against it, but like a lot of it is just actual like weird static.
I know. And I don't even hear it. That's the thing.
Well, that's weird because it also is coming from you, so I can understand you not hearing it.
Well,
Ow.
it could be that I have my fan on and that's probably picking up what it is.
I mean, that might be, but I don't hear a lot of constant, like, breathing or heavy breath. Like, that's, whenever I do mention it, that's your breathing, I think. But you would think, because when I have a fan next to me, and when it's on into my mic, I can even hear it in my own headset. You can hear it if I have my volume up high enough, it gives off that crackly sound effect. So if that's what that is,
So fucking weird.
but if that's what that is, but it sounds more than that. It sounds like constant movement, but it's, at the same time, it also sounds more like headphone breakup, like static.
Right.
So, I mean, here's the thing, like, sometimes when Supply is walking, I can hear all the wind in the background. You can even hear, like, cars driving by, so it kind of sounds like that, just not as loud. Like, yeah, yours gets pretty annoying sometimes, and it's not your fault. And I hate, like, saying it, but, like, I'm not ever mad, because I know you can't control it. We gotta figure out a setup, though, for Mercer, even. Ah. Ow. See, like, yeah, it's not, no, it just sounded like you picked up your headset. It's the same sound that it, when you pick up your headset and you're, like, coming back to something, and when you walk away, or, like, whenever Mercer or I do that, you get, like, that pickup headphone sound effect. That's what that sounded like. But you were probably just moving, or it's probably just coming from whatever your headset's connection is. I don't see. See, it doesn't, ow, right there sounded staticky.
Right here, like what I'm doing now.
Whatever you just did, whatever happened, that came out sounded like static sound versus like movement rubbing against mic sound. There's a few different sounds that happen. Ow. Ow. That was loud. Don't do that again, Merce. Ow! Jesus Christ. Sorry, everyone who's hearing this on my end.
Come on, no sorry.
I love everybody.
Wow, when the fucking whole Discord shit doesn't want to work. 7
What?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus, fun.
Jesus Christ, that's been happening way too often.
I took them off. Can you hear me better now?
I mean, I can tell you took them off. I mean, I hope it doesn't static. It's probably still gonna make a static as long, I don't know if is it actually your headset? Are you moving around a lot? But, huh, well hopefully we can test the mitigation, because I can hear you clear enough. I can tell you're apart from your mic, but I can hear you clear enough. That sucks. How well can you hear us?
I can hear you perfectly from here.
Okay.
Did TFS do Naruto upgrades as well?
Part of them, it wasn't really TFS. It was a guy named Lil Karibo who does work with them, but I don't think he's actually part of that company. But they were in it. Yes, and a Pokemon one, and a Yu-Gi-Oh one. Not like full, but they have episodes of it. Naruto's is pretty hilarious. I'm not David Bowie. Fucking Kakashi. It's supposed to be, yes, it's them being funny with David Bowie, and it's supposed to be Kakashi because of the voice they gave him. I'm not David Bowie. Naruto's supposed to be a smoker. It's fucking weird.
Are they going to ruin Kakashi for me?
I mean, that depends on you.
Cause I like very serious.
I mean, he's not that serious. Also, he's very goofy. Sometimes in general, like he's a serious guy and a goofy guy, but like that depends on you, honestly.
Also, I think they're making fun of Naruto's raspy voice.
Yes, no, they're making they give him a deeper, deepy smoker voice. Deepy. They give you a deep Naruto gets a smoker voice in the abridged.
Good shit.
It's glamour rock sensation David Bowie.
Oh, great heavens! Oh my god, hon, why did you send this?
I'm not David Bowie.
You know what you sent.
It's a lady.
Hello?
You're blind.
What?
Is somebody there?
The Dora.
Might I bend your ear for a moment, please?
Yes.
My name is Irina.
Dora,
I've escaped from
the
Castle Morin to the
Explorer.
south. The servants there
What?
have rebelled.
That's
I
not a
can't be
good
sure what it is,
Are we looking up NSFW of Dora?
but I swear I heard
No.
frightful howling
Oh.
from all over.
No.
My good father secreted me out the castle.
Okay, so there's this
He decided himself
there's
to
this
stay.
thing I keep seeing on like
He says
Instagram and
it's
shit,
his duty.
where like her being all demonic
commander.
and she just resurrects Swiper to just torment him and
The
turns him into a
servants are
smoothie at
full
the end.
wrath. They've
That's
since
hot.
come for every one of the
Yeah, like,
companions I
what the
escaped with.
fuck, hon?
They haven't spared a soul. Please, would you mind taking a letter
Yes,
to my
here.
father? My soul wishes that he
What
escape.
thing?
Please.
Sure.
Thank you.
Then please take
Please.
this. Irina's letter.
Deliver it to my father.
The castle.
He
Dora,
remains in
Dora, the horror.
Dorothy the Horror.
Dora the horror.
Dora the Horror? Letter addressed to the commander of Castle
Dora
Morn.
the horror.
Look,
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Commander of Castle Morn.
Alright.
Gorgeous silken handkerchief.
I am trying to flip and figure out this Pokemon Go shit.
Offer incantation. What kind of incantation?
Please.
Oh,
We
and
can be
can't
stubborn.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Man got Naruto'd. My sincerest apologies. Who got Naruto'd? What? That's an insult? Believe it! How are you? How are you, Matsus? Chilling. That's good. Same. Just enjoying some chill, fun murder on Elden Ring. While I just run around and be a dude. Just chilling next to your dead body, huh? Dead buddy. It's a kind friend of you. It's a kind friend. Friend of me. Don't need to bother you if you're not gonna bother me. Ow.
Hey, what's with the pasty white version of booze that I'm looking at right now?
What? Pasty white.
With a blue cape instead of a purple.
Oh, that's evil, bro.
Oh, the gray boo. Ah, yes. Evil boo. That's the... Okay. When Hercule nearly died along with the dog, Boo eventually got too pissed off and released the evil half that he had inside of him. Because if you recall, Kid Boo absorbed 2 Kais to become what he became. One Kai turned him into the bulky state, which then, I mean, he eventually was. We saw him eventually as the Super Boo after he ate the prior Boo when he became pink. And then he has the forms with Gohan and Gotenks in them. He also absorbed the Grand Kai, the Grand Supreme Kai, which, just like the King Kais, like King Kai, he's the North, our King Kai, the one that taught Goku the Kaioken, he's our North Kai. Even the Supreme Kais are delegated to quadrants. Our Kabito, or Shin, he's the Northern Northern Supreme Kai. Well, at the time of Boo's rampage, this was eons ago, he wiped out most of the Kais minus him, but he absorbed the Dai Kaio, or the Supreme Kai leader. And he's the one who is still in him. He gave Boo his fat appearance, but also made him good. He's still alive in him. He was used, actually, in the Moro arc, along with Oob. Who, actually, Oob is the reincarnation of Kid Boo. A lot of that went into Oob. A lot of his magic and shit went into Oob. That's why he was needed to defeat Moro. So, but yeah, when Boo expelled all of that, it turned into Grey Boo, and then he later assimilated himself, which made him into his pink, iconic, thin form. And then later after, when he had tried to absorb Vegito, Vegeta ripped down Boo's pod. And once that happened, it turned him back into Kid Boo. Meaning that Boo is no longer a part of him and he went back to normal. Which is what led him to later spitting out Boo, and then us gaining a new ally at the time. Because that Boo, while still was bad at one point, he was really never that evil, and also now that he's separated from any evil, he can no longer create anymore. A lot of people try to question what would happen if Boo gets pissed off. I mean, whoever he's fighting is probably dead, but he can never release anything again. Because that part of him is Oob now.
Is Oob a Majin, or is Oob
But
human?
he's a human, but he's the reincarnation of Majin Buu. So he has his abilities, but he's human. He was born by 2 human parents. He was raised on Earth. And yeah. But he's got, okay.
Really good friends with Goku.
Well, he will be. Here's the thing, like, the gods of heaven heard Goku's plea. Goku's really good friends with Yama, and they were all able to grant him this wish. This was like an actual personal wish, not a Dragon Ball wish, where he hoped that Buu would be reincarnated so they could have a future showdown. Well, that's literally what happens. When he dies, he gets reincarnated into Oob. His name is literally the same name, just backwards.
Right.
So, yep, that's where a lot of Evil Boo went. That's why, or yeah, that's why they used him in the Moro arc with the Supreme guy, Elder. And he's just about at that age when he first fought Goku. We're nearing the end of Super. I don't expect too many more movies. Maybe one more after this, and then we're at the end of it. Trunks and Goten are older in this new movie.
Yeah.
So we're finally getting up to the end now. So I don't really think the anime is going to be adapted, but that's fine. Even if they decide to make Moro movie and a Granola movie, which could be fine, I would prefer a more focused plot rather than doing it in like an hour or two. At least it's not like what it was. All the movies in the past were like 45 minutes long. To be honest, a lot of them were good, but they rushed a lot of the older movies, to be honest. There's a lot more they can go into detail. I'm glad a lot of those all those movies are non-canon though, because a lot of them don't really kind of make sense. Also, they rehash a lot. Like, Slug is basically just Piccolo. The whole Wish. A lot of your villains are Cooler is basically just a reverse Frieza. In terms of how he attacks both planets, but in reverse. But then he also does the thing where he becomes a robot, and it's just like yeah, Cooler was 100% robotic, but still, like, it's just like they kind of got lazy on some of the movies. Also, they've omitted that on budget, they rehashed like a lot of famous scenes in the actual series, which is interesting because you'll see a lot of similarities. Like in the World's Strongest, they had those Cybermen-esque monsters, if you recall those. Piccolo did the very beam attack that when they were troubling Gohan, he punched the same way he killed the Cybermen, he killed that thing. And it's just like, you know what? Him and then Goku doing the Spirit Bomb on the final boss, is a big resemblance to Vegeta. And then the whole thing with Turles also kind of just
Right.
doesn't make sense.
So, like, who is Turles?
Just some random
Turles
Saiyan.
is another
Just-
class warrior like Goku.
Just some random Saiyan. Just some random Saiyan that was a low class.
Like, was he part of Bardak's thing?
No. No, not that they ever mentioned. He never mentions really. He doesn't mention anyone. He just knows of Kakarot.
If he was part of Bardock,
He does not.
with the rest.
Yes, he would have, but he also doesn't look that old. He looks more like he's Goku's age, to be honest. Well, I can't really tell,
Or
cause
Radix's age.
or Vegeta's, in fact, yeah. Like I can't really tell because Saiyans do age well, because for one, Goku and Vegeta's a little older, so he's probably 50 if he's not closer to 50. If he's not 50, he's around there. Goku's in his early 40s. Because they finally gave us confirmation on when the Saiyan died, which was 40 years prior to the event of the Granola arc.
Granola looks really freaking cool.
He is, up until his wish really made me like not like him as much. He's a fucking he's badass. His whole
Alongside Bardock?
No, he didn't. He was a baby or younger. He was like a young child when Saiyans and the Heaters did their damage, and that whole fight against him and Gas. That was 40 years prior. Like Granola, like the Sorelians live a long time too. The whole incident that caused the Namekians to move planets, and yeah, him losing his family. Yeah, that was 40 years ago. He was a young child. His mother died His mother died because of the man that is basically one of Frieza's planet brokers. So he's also playing off. He's trying to play.
Granola's not a bad guy,
No.
right?
No, he just hates the Saiyans because they attacked his village and shit. And Vegeta's the only like one that really knows of it, the attack. He's not like he has any.
Well, no,
Not that he not yeah.
higher class.
I'm just saying Goku wasn't there. But he doesn't care. He just wants
Goku
them
was
dead.
on Earth, I think, right?
Long beforehand, yes. Or going to Earth.
So, Goku
This
died,
was this was
uh,
that no, this was right. This
Bardock
no Go. This was before the planet's destruction. No, Goku was still there.
Okay, I was about to say, well, hold on, was Goku on Earth when Bardock was doing his last stand against Frieza?
He was being sent to Earth. In the original movie, yes. In his new canon, he didn't even go after Frieza.
Oh, really?
Nope. He stayed.
He went to go get...
Unless they change up his. Yeah, his last stand was with Gide, where they sent him off. In the Bardock movie and in the manga, they showed him he died because he's like, I have a bad feeling or whatever they say. Now in the new one, his newest canon, he gets told the events that Frieza's gonna destroy the planet. But yeah, his last stand was with his wife.
Like a good husband.
And father, and a better one. Like they're trying.
How did Raditz escape?
He was off on another mission. He was him, Vegeta, and Nappa. Yes, him, Vegeta, and Nappa were off on separate missions. Frieza actually didn't want to kill them.
Really? He liked them?
Liked them enough. He did their work. Yeah, they were planning to rebel, but Vegeta was still doing his work. He was one of the strongest. He was the strongest of his class.
Yes, but he also made the mistake of letting Vegeta live after he destroyed the planet.
I mean, Vegeta didn't really do much to Frieza. I mean, unless you want to count his beatdown on him, which is very cathartic in Res F, but letting Vegeta live or whatever didn't really cost him anything. He actually did kill him. He actually did kill him, though.
Yeah.
Like, but he was forced to, because Vegeta actually was betraying him. But still, it's not like he didn't have a reason. But still, like, he didn't kill him otherwise, because Vegeta never... Well, he did. He was always planning a coup d'etat on Frieza. But he just didn't do it then. He used the opportunity because he knows the Earthlings are... After fighting all of them, he knows that he can team up with them and potentially win. I mean, technically, the only one at the time that could actually kill Frieza was Krillin.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, because he almost Destructo Disced his ass.
Well, the Destructo Disc, while Frieza also had his guard down. Here's the thing. I don't know if with Frieza's guard up or down or not. He got cut by his own attack, which is the same thing, just on a stronger level. But yes, Vegeta or Krillin actually cut his tail off. He did a thing where he can split his Destructo Disc, and Frieza actually had to dodge it.
So
Yeah.
he didn't scream his attack.
No, yes, here's the thing. He did cut him, even though he did scream it. He just Frieza caught wind of it and was able to dodge the rest of it. Yes, he would have cut him in half. Because he got his tail. He cut his tail off. Meaning, with Frieza's full guard dropped, he would have been sliced in half. I don't even think he had the power to, really withstand it like Cell does. Because Cell just took it. He's a lot more powerful, even with his guard dropped. But Cell's different. He never had his guard dropped. Still, like, Frieza was cut down by his own attack as well, because his guard was dropped. It's the same reason why like Goku got hit by a bullet. It didn't hurt him much. It grazed him, but it was off guard. Same with the ray gun. Like, I'm sorry, like a lot of people still question why Goku got hit or Krillin got hit. Krillin's one thing. Him getting grazed by a bullet because he lets his guard down all the time. I mean, he lost against Frost. Enough said. He got knocked out of the TOP by Frost. Enough said. Now, Goku getting nearly murdered by a ray gun. That's more powerful than a bullet, for one. Two, his guard was dropped, meaning his power was down. How many times has Whis mentioned this to him? Like, go look his past history. Go look at his fight with Piccolo. Go watch the end of it. He gets blasted through the chest. Look what happened to Raditz in him. Like, yeah, he let that happen. He wanted that to happen, but he still got it. Like, he's been pierced through the body multiple times just because he let his guard down. Specifically, huh?
Now see Goku as a brother of life.
I mean, he has for a long time, yes.
More than Vegeta has.
Definitely. But Vegeta Piccolo was already on the good side the moment he started training Gohan.
He felt bad when he killed.
Yes, in some way he was like, I wanted to kill you for so long, but not like this. And that's initially, yeah.
He to save others. Risked his life, gave his life.
For his son, yeah, and yes, he was very honored. Yes, he didn't bitch at all. He cried. He did his whole redemption. Ah, fuck. Just like how Vegeta did. Just like how Vegeta did. Well, what? Well. He kind of has this thing in the Boo arc where he states that Goku's the best. I guess that's the closest you're gonna get. He still doesn't prefer. He still prefers to fight solo, to be honest.
Yeah.
But he gives the respect Goku deserves. He knows Goku's. He knows he's better. He knows he's better.
Vegeta enjoys having Goku around.
Yes, he does. I'm not gonna say he doesn't. But they have that rivalry. They just have that rivalry. That's all.
In a way, Goku amuses Vegeta. In a way. Vegeta gets a kick out of how Goku acts sometimes.
I love their dynamic. One is dumb and goofy, and one is more smart and serious.
Yeah. Is when Vegeta is there to say goodbye to future Trunks, and he goes to throw a punch at Trunks, and Trunks blocks it, and they're both looking at each other and smiling.
Yes. It's a very good moment.
It's like,
I love that they bonded.
Like, is his bond with future Trunks the same strength as with his present version of his son?
Oh god, no.
I mean, no, he loves his son, but I haven't seen him show that same admiration for his other son in terms of like that kind of love. I guess it's just, I don't know.
I think Vegeta wants.
But he definitely, if the scenario were bad enough,
level of future Trunks.
Yes, he does. He hopes he just grows up strong like any other parent. But I know for a fact if his son were ever put in actual danger, his Vegeta would be there.
He would step in and put an end to that shit. I know his love for his daughter is really freaking strong.
It is.
Stronger than Trunks.
However, we're gonna see. Speaking of daughter, though, we're gonna see another fatherly love with Gohan in the new movie here. Pan gets captured by the RR Red Ribbon Army, and so the plot's gonna be Gohan's gonna go whoop some robotic ass, and Piccolo's gonna gain a new form, and whatever the fuck decides to come back, a new version of Cell or whatever the hell. But like,
Can Piccolo go Super Namekian?
he has been called that when he fused with Kami. Yes. That's the strongest Piccolo. That's the strongest form Piccolo had. That's the strongest form Piccolo's ever had. He just expanded upon it. This is a whole new form where it's gonna be, it's his equivalent of Gohan's ultimate form. Is what they're calling it. It's what they're calling it. Meaning he's meaning. Technically, he still has the highest potential. If he trained, he'd be his. Even though when he regained his ultimate power, he was strong. He was strong. But if he did continue to train, yes, he'd be the strongest. Sorry.
Him and Broly are like the only ones I can see that have any use for SSJ4.
They all could, but I could see that. I could see I see use for it. It's just they want to further expand upon their god energy and base rather than that. Now, Gohan or Broly would be the first to bring it out, and I can see that form being more built upon primal rage, because that's kind of what it is. It goes back to the old roots.
They need their tails.
Yes, they trained.
Well, Vegeta didn't need his tails.
No, he didn't have it either, but Goku had a different training scenario, so this is why everyone hates the bullshit that Vegeta did, because it makes more sense to me, because they're doing the same thing anyway. You need the tail, but you also need the moon.
They could grow back their tails because Bardock did.
Well, they used to. There's a point. Like, I don't know when Akira decided to just actually say, hey, fuck it, I'm lazy, or give them a reason to. But here's the thing, like, Goku's tail never returned when Kami cut it off. When he gave him, like, a thing, hey, I'll bring back the moon. Cut your tail off, though. And they did. Vegeta's tail never grew back when he lost it against Yajirobe. That was the only time you've seen him with a tail loss. We don't know how many times he's lost his tail in the past.
I consider Yajirobe a zoophile.
Here's the thing, I always thought it was considered based on, like, once you're older, you lose your tail, but then the whole Bardock thing would be thrown out a window.
Yeah, because Bardock wouldn't have his tail.
Because he's older, but we don't know how many times Bardock's lost his tail. Goku's lost his tail twice. He got it cut off by Puar and then cut off again by Kami, correct?
Yes, I think so. But I'm thinking the reason why why they haven't grown back their tail, those two haven't grown back their tails yet, is because Goku's was cut by Kami. Because isn't Kami a god?
Not in the same vein as the actual gods. He's a god. He is a guardian of Earth. Yes, he is a god.
Which
Just
means he should have magic that if he cuts it off, he should be able to seal it to the point where it won't grow back.
Well, I mean, he has unique abilities that others don't. Like, he has the power to create Dragon Balls. Like, here's the thing, he's a magician. Piccolo and there's separate clans within the Namekians. There's the wizards, which is what Kami was, and then there's your martial artists, like your Piccolo, which Kami was also both, though, because Piccolo comes from him, so Kami was different. He was both. And then in order to become the god of Earth, he had to split his evil thoughts of war. Like, what happened was he was sent to Earth as a young age due to a catastrophic event on Namek or whatever, and so he grew up on Earth. And I guess a lot of what he witnessed changed him and made him evil. And that's eventually is what he had to split his evil incarnation into. And that's what made King Piccolo, yes. And then when Goku defeated him, he spat out, yes. And our Piccolo has all the knowledge of that. Now, and also fusing with Kami, he technically lost the abilities to make the Dragon Balls, but he has all of Kami's knowledge as well. That's what makes Piccolo smarter than he is.
Do you know how Knuckles from Sonic is an Echidna warrior?
I mean, I don't know the lore. I know he's an Echidna, yes.
He's kind of like Piccolo.
Yeah, I don't know the lore too much.
They're both angry, but they're like old gropey men, but they have soft sides.
Piccolo's not even old. He's only a few years older than Gohan. He's younger than Goku.
I still can't believe how strong Piccolo and Gohan's bond really is.
Yeah, they're in the new movie together as well. It's one of those bonds that actually if
Mr. Piccolo?
yes, dude, sometimes. It's one of those bonds that where if Piccolo ends up dying or losing, Gohan gains a new form. It's that level. Like Goku hasn't had that kind of a reaction since Krillin's death. Like, yeah, he got mad at one point during the Goku Black arc when he realized Chi-Chi and Goten and he died, but he wasn't, like, on the level of, oh my god, you killed Krillin mad. Like, the first time that happened, he nearly died against Tambourine. Like, and then his eventual win on Piccolo, all that was born out of rage and anger. Even his failed attempt on Piccolo. Like, and then Frieza, like, while it calmed down throughout the fight, that initial pissed moment, though, like, you've never seen that. And he knows Boo's killed... He knew that Boo killed everyone on Earth, so he never knew I don't think he actually technically knew that Chi-Chi died. by Boo's hands directly.
Oh my god. That's right.
The whole
Mama also died too.
yes, she got 8. But here's the thing: Chi-Chi technically, though the planet Earth was technically blown up, so they technically died twice. Everyone died. Who was already wished back, or who I don't remember. Did they wish everybody back prior to that? Because I know then he blew up the Earth and killed everyone else. Boo.
I'm pretty sure Boo felt bad for blowing up the Earth after.
Oh no, not that Boo didn't. That was Kid Boo that did it. He immediately did it.
Fat Boo.
Fat Boo. Well, here's the thing: Fat Boo was not in control of either events. It was Super Boo that wiped out the inhabitants originally, minus the major characters like Hercule survived for the love because Boo's love was still there. However, Kid Boo, after he reincarnated, after he changed back, his first thing he did was blow up the planet.
Oh.
Like he had no remorse.
Didn't Broly blow up the planet too?
No. He blew up other planets, but not Earth. No one but Frieza and Boo blew up Earth. And Frieza's didn't even last long. Nor did Boo's, but Boo actually was the first and the only one to do it in the series. Like Frieza did it now, but it was literally like a couple second thing, and they just used Whis' angel abilities to. Apparently the angels are okay with him meddling like this. This is what I don't know. Whis, because the angels have a code where if you meddle in human affairs, you'll get wiped, like Maris did. He trained Goku and helped him gain his UI potential and whatnot. But like, here's the thing: like Whis has been using his powers to not only help Bulma give birth, but he also fast forwarded time and whatnot and saved their life on Earth. Like that's to me is meddling in affairs. Because that's why he never fights against anyone. He just like trains people. He'll never jump in. Neither will Beerus, but Beerus technically has more okays to do so.
Yeah, Beerus can meddle in whenever he wants. My buddy Will walking home, and he was like, "Yeah, but your character doesn't want UI." I'm like, technically, my character's a god of destruction, so he would have ultra ego.
Well, I mean, it also depends. Like Vegeta, that's a form I can see suiting Vegeta and Vegeta only because of his because of his pride. Yes, but also like it is a real cool name. It's actually one of the better names because again these don't feel like forms though. They just need to right now they do. But once they master it, it's going to be more of a technique, not so much not so much a technique, but a state of being. Because again, Beerus and Whis are always in these states. Angels are different, but Beerus is always in his destruction state. Like that's why whenever he was training Vegeta, he was like, "No, you're not this. It looks like this," and he's exploding rocks. Whis is always in Ultra Instinct. That's a state of being. To Beerus, his is more of a job than it is actually being of a race. Here's the thing. Whis. The angel, yes, it's their life and their race. That's what they are. Just like how gods of creation are actually that. Beerus is more of a job, but that's what he is. He's a candidate. Here's the thing, that's why you can have candidates. You can't just go and become an angel, I don't think. I mean, unless you're Goku.
Yeah.
Like Goku's gone through much training with characters that are of higher ups, like Kami, for instance. Then he went through King Kai. Then Gohan's gone through Shin.
You know how many headaches
or Elder Kai.
been,
The Kais and Supreme Kai, or King Kai for not bringing him back.
Yeah.
I mean, tons. It's been mentioned throughout the
You
series.
know how many headaches he's given King Kai?
Oh, tons. Well, he's ignored everything he's ever said about Frieza, for one. But
also, he ignored him when he was going Super Saiyan 3.
yes. Oh, when he draining his too much power. Yeah. Or his time. Yes. No, he ignores him on everything. But it's not like Goku's actions didn't help any. It's just
Yeah. He meant good.
Like, yeah, he was warned to stay away from Boo by the Kais, by the Supreme Kais. He was warned to not do this and that. The Saiyans will never listen.
Wasn't it? Wasn't it Vegeta who unleashed Boo in the first place?
Yes, it was him who caused it because he let himself go Majin and he wanted to fight Goku because Vegeta, and he was like, yeah, I want to be evil and I want to go back to the way things were, and he just wanted to have a rematch because it's been 7 years. At first it was like a rival thing, then it turned out that Vegeta was like, no, I can't take it anymore. I don't care about this fucking villain. Our fight's gonna happen, and that was his way of forcing it on Goku. While then he later regretted it.
He forced Goku's hand.
He did, massively. And it was their energy
Also,
that
Goku,
released him.
Really screamed at him for killing Ginyu when Ginyu was in the body after the frog. Because Vegeta was like, I think he said something about like, screw this, and just blasted freaking Ginyu.
Or he never did that. He never killed Ginyu until the Res F. He killed all the other Ginyu members. He never blasted any of Ginyu's body. Both of their bodies are his other body's alive, I think, unless he was killed off.
Well, it's probably
But
mounted on
his soul is dead with Tagama's body. So Tagama with his body is somewhere around. Unless he was murdered too.
the frog, you mean?
Yeah, it would be Tagama's soul within the frog. Ginyu is gone.
What I remember is, Vegeta said that Ginyu, you should have stayed on the lily pad. And he blasts him.
Yeah, that's Rezef then, because he doesn't do that anywhere in the series. Besides that.
Because Frieza, like, chuckles
Yep.
when it happens.
Yep. Then, so you watched Super then?
Actually, it was a clip I saw on Facebook.
Yep, that'd be Super.
I get a lot of my, Dragon Ball stuff.
I know. I see a lot of clips too. That's how I found out about the movie, and I also was playing a bit of Legends. I was like, I want to see how this movie or how this game is again. It's been a while, and I saw a lot of promotional stuff there. Yeah, you'll see a lot of that if you. It's impossible to avoid it when you're also.
Do you think Vegeta has given Gohan some pointers about raising a little girl?
I don't think so.
Like, I know.
He doesn't seem like
Vegeta
he.
respects Gohan.
I would say so. Well, I don't think he's the kind of guy that does that. He was doing that to his own son. He was teaching Trunks how to like change diapers and hold Bulla. That I see, but him doing that to Gohan, no.
Do you think Piccolo knows how to be a parental?
Yes.
Yeah, because
Yes, because he is the Pan. Yes. Yeah, Pan. Well, he also is being Pan's grandfather.
Yeah, because her actual grandfather is usually never home.
Because there's scenes of Piccolo like pushing her on a swing or whatever, having fun with her while Gohan's out, and you know.
Does she call him Grandpa Piccolo?
I don't think so. But she sees him as that kind of figure for her. There's cute. Yes, there's cute scenes of Piccolo and her interacting, even though he's like shy about it, and because he's like he's.
You can see he secretly is enjoying.
Yes, it's that like I'm a fighter, but I'm a fighter, not a father. This kind of figure, but you can see that he's actually happy. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's adorable. It's adorable. I love. Oh yeah, yes, he's in this new movie with Gohan, and Pan's the whole plot is Pan gets captured somehow, and they want. Okay, so this new villain could potentially have similar make up the cell and be also but include powers of Boo too now, because if they've been watching him this entire time, they would have. They potentially, unless the robots get evaporated the moment they touch a god's body, they potentially could have Beerus too, as well as Golden Frieza. So it could be an upgraded Cell. There also was a moment in the manga. Or yes, they have and Moro. This is supposed to be after the fight with Broly. Also Broly. So okay, here's the thing. Yeah, like they have all the powers of all these new things. one of the Cell Juniors, also, there was a moment in the manga where one of the Cell Juniors survived, is living on the island where 17 takes care of animals. He potentially could have been found, or Cell's remains could have been found, or whatever the fuck. The whole thing with Raditz was a fake. Confirmed by Geek. Yep. I mean they could decide to do something with that for whatever somehow, but like I don't think it's gonna be Raditz. But that yeah, apparently that was a fake. To be honest though, them doing shit with Raditz makes no sense. It would be in. I'll come back. I mean, it would to give Goku more of a backstory, but Goku's already had his growth. Honestly, it's kind of forced more at this point to give Goku more plot. I'm fine with it. I'm not as pissed off about certain things as some people get. I don't know if people are pissed off about the whole Bardock thing, but I know they keep changing up shit. Like Bardock was never like a great guy. They're trying to make him better, which is fine. Took long enough.
Fell in love with Bardock.
Yeah, no, he's an awesome character, regardless.
Right.
Well, like, I don't even think Bardock was actually his idea. Right?
Nope.
So he was probably sitting there like, why didn't I fucking
I mean, he had hands in creating a lot of character designs, but I don't think Bardock at all was anything on him.
He was probably sitting there like, why didn't I think of this?
A lot of the anime also in Super is a lot of it's Toei. He is hand in a lot of what they do, but there's a lot of split offs from the actual manga.
He should have more say in it than anyone because it's his creation.
Oh, he does. He's the one that gives them all the story for everything. It's just the anime has a bit more liberty of what they do now with this than the creator of the manga now. The manga takes a different branched path. They both are doing their own versions of certain events. So in essence, now there's two canons, with whatever version you want to consider more of a canon. Yeah.
So like,
I'm gonna go with. Oh, most animes are following the manga to a degree. They have some filler. They have filler.
But there's some that are anime first, manga second.
I mean, there's probably a dozen others, yes, but this is not just that. There's a lot of differences between some of the arcs, and Moro and Granola haven't been adapted yet, and also like stuff like, you know, Goku going or Vegeta going God, or you know, certain fights like the manga had Gohan versus Kefla, or stuff like that. Like they have different events, so. Either way, like, other mangas usually, or other animes diverge a bit just so the manga can catch up, but then they still usually complete the set story with some adaptations here and there, maybe.
Also, Brett, I've noticed something. Dead Rising zombies are identical to Resident Evil zombies.
I mean, it is Capcom. They have a powered-up state at a certain time in the story. And, you know, except Resident Evil, the originals had certain zombies would have to be burned, but yes, it's strategic, more strategic with the way you deal with them, but yes, they have that power boost where they get stronger. Oh.
And the way they move.
The way they shuffle. The only difference is Resident Evil isn't as well, it is now. With the action commands.
Yeah.
It is Capcom though, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
It makes.
Are there any Resident Evil Easter eggs in Dead Rising?
Probably more than I know of. There's a store in the first one called Jill's Sandwiches.
Hey, hon.
Yes, babe.
I'm sorry about earlier. I love you.
That's fine. I love you.
Yeah, there's a line in the first game that Barry says to Jill about almost becoming a Jill sandwich. I think that's
Wait, what's a Jill sandwich?
one of the characters in Resident Evil 1. Her name is Jill Valentine. She was almost crushed in a room where you had to take the shotgun. And a character
Kill her either way?
I mean, if you don't interact with the door, because the guy Barry, yes, you would lose, but you can let her die. But yeah, there's a guy named Barry that lets you out, and he goes and says you almost became a Jill sandwich. So there's a shop in the first game that sells sandwiches. It's called Jill's Sandwiches.
Oh, wow. So, Han, what was the other 2 games you said you wanted to get?
Well, I would really love it if you could try and get me Dead Rising 4. That's the main game on my list of ones that I really wanted to the top of my list.
You would have them all then, wouldn't you? Except for the 2 standalones, the Case Zero and Case West, because those are Xbox, so you'd be able to get those.
Yes. Because then I'll have everything, all of it. And I'll be able to play with it. Well,
Yes.
If my brother stops game sharing with his friend, I won't have access to 1 or the normal 2.
Oh, those are PS4, right? Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll have to...
I mean, we have to actually do an entire start to finish on DR2 and 3. Well, we can continue R3 eventually. Continue R3 eventually. But I also want to be able to help you on 1, even if we can't play it together. We can stream it together like we were, but I want to be able to help you with it.
Here's the thing, actually. Here's the thing. I want to save that one for when we meet in person. So
I mean,
if get stuck on something,
that'd be easier. That'd be easier. You would have, but I was saying though, we would have to get you streaming it full, so I can try to watch you more. But that would be a lot easier because then I wouldn't see the lag.
Yeah. And it'll be less stressful.
I mean, I did it to 0 when we were tripping fucking triple C's, which is cough medicine, and I was reading through a guide because this was before I learned. This was before mastering most of the game, and I helped him through the whole first day of the game, getting everything. I mean, I can do it. There's minor details on weapon locations and stuff that I don't really pay attention to, as I know where a lot more of the survivors are.
Here's the thing, though.
I may not.
I kind of want to try Adam the Clown on my own.
Without me telling you how to beat him?
Well, no, with you telling me how to beat him, but if I get my ass kicked,
Oh no,
I'll
yeah.
take the controller out of my hands before it ends up like yours.
Just stay calm. I can tell you how to beat him. Just stay calm and pay attention to his moveset, and only do
Getting off my meds.
and only do that when you, or only hurt him when you can. Like, don't be carelessly, especially if you're using melee weapons. I'm gonna
use range weapons.
I'm gonna recommend getting some guns, shotguns, pistols, whatever you can lay your hands on.
Certain bosses, I prefer to use guns.
And if you go and fight the gun shop owner, which is on the first day, you can fight him literally right away. I like to early on. I like to kill the criminals first and take their convict jeep gun, and go into the north side plaza. And there's a gun shop in there where if you use that, he's in a pain normally, like because he's behind a shelf, so it's hard to hit him melee, because he just throws you if you're close enough, and then he just shoots you with a shotgun. But if you have the gun, their gun at a low level, he becomes a joke, because there's not many that good guns lying around early on unless you keep the shotgun and all the pistols they give you. You're gonna that gun really rips through his health. And I usually just use that on him. And then after you kill him, you get free reign to his gun shop, which has infinite guns. So shotguns, snipers, pistols, grenades, whatever.
Assault rifles.
Yep. Assault rifles, yeah. And they're infinite, meaning like you can grab as many as you want as long as you have inventory space. Later on, they make weapons where you can't just grab an infinite number.
Really?
Some locations, yeah. In Dead Rising 2 onward. They made it so certain weapons have a limit to how much you can grab it for a round.
Oh, wow.
You would have to respawn it.
That's kind of gay.
But Dead Rising 1, where it's like, okay, you can grab 50 million katanas, but you can't hold them all.
Dude, just like in Dead Rising 1, you can drink as much as you want. You won't
Yep.
throw up.
Oh yeah, I like the changes though. I do like those mechanics because it's just like, all right, there's got to have to be some drawback because you're just chugging alcohol and it's your healing. It's one of your healing sources. There's already drawbacks. Yeah, there's already drawbacks in the Dead Rising franchise where if you eat rotten food, you get sick. Well, they just changed it in the 2 and onward where if you drink too much liquor, 3 equivalent of 3 any type of alcohol, whether it's beer or hard liquor or wine or whatever, you get drunk and you start puking and wobbling all over the place. You can't fight as well. I like it. I like it because it just gives that incentive to like, okay, well, there's a drawback to certain things. Like you could chug orange juice all day, but you know, you can't just eat rotten vegetables or rotten food and be like, all right, this is gonna go well.
Like this is gonna totally not backfire.
So yeah, I like I like those mechanics. I really do because it adds a sense of urgency or like, oh my god, it'd be kind of easy if it didn't have those. Dead Rising's already not that hard. Dead Rising's already not that hard to begin with. It has moments. It is a rougher game. It definitely is a rough first playthrough. At least for me, it was. Because it's it's also it has decent controls, but its combat can be kind of rough. It's been more refined in the later ones, but it's a different. It's different. So I was like, yeah, Adam the Clown specifically was a rougher fight, and he's generally speaking, going back on it now, it's not even that difficult of a fight. Like, but there's more. Yes, like at the time though, I didn't pick up on his way of beating him, and he was the roughest early on in the fight, and he has a massive thing behind him. Beside, you know, he has an NPC that you can rescue that gives you a shortcut.
Hold
Hmm?
on. Hold on. Don't I fight his brother in this one?
And off the record, yes. Yvonne the Clown. He's outside where you fought Chuck Green. You'll see a ice cream truck parked outside near one of the ends. I think it's by the by the arena, by the one end where you face Ted, I think.
I'm sorry if I'm...
No, it's all good. I don't remember exactly, but you'll see an ice cream truck in I think day 2 of Off the Record.
Hey, hon.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Playing Dead Rising off the record.
Throwing my plans?
What?
You throwing my plans?
Ruining my plans?
What?
Ruining my plans?
Just throwing my plans? Are
Yeah.
you?
No.
Yes.
Good, because I have to kill you.
He's referencing Gohan and Vegeta thing. Thornton my plans?
I need
Thornton your plans?
Are you?
Are you?
Good.
Yes. Good, because I don't have to kill you.
Fucking kill you! But anyways,
And then it starts the infamous scream scene to the point where even...
I'll fucking kill you!
I'll fucking kill you! Anyways, I think I'm gonna become your new sugar daddy, hon.
It's a watch. It tells time and nothing else. Well, that's what a watch does, dumbass.
Dumbass.
Dumbass. You know, I wouldn't put it above Vegeta to call somebody a retard.
He already did with Goku.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if he says it as in terms of like you're a retard or you're just stupid, it really kind of means the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, excuse me. I'll be right back.
Because he has called Goku idiot a lot. He also calls him a clown a lot. He knows Goku's nature. He calls him a clown for that very reason. I don't recall him ever stating retard in general, but you know what? Dragon Ball does have some, like, minor, like, badder words. It's not gonna be like, yeah, it may say stuff like that here and there, It's not Inuyasha where it's gonna say it's not Hellsing or Inuyasha where they say bastard like every other scene. Inuyasha is more is not even that bad. Yeah, Hellsing is a different thing altogether.
Hellsing.
Oh, I know.
Hellsing's like fuck this, fuck that.
Yes,
This
I
person,
know.
yeah,
I was
Hellsing.
just stating that yes, anime that is rated more mature, like even Inuyasha, it doesn't even swear that bad. It's animes like those that are also that's a different type of thing altogether.
Would you consider Hellsing to be horror?
No.
No, an action.
Yeah, but that's what it falls. That's what it falls under in Funimation.
I mean, it can be rated horror because of the element and what it has in it, but it's not scary.
I know Tokyo Ghoul is a horror one.
Just because certain things can be rated horror doesn't necessarily mean it's scary. It just has gore in it or whatever. A lot of death, gore, and decapitation, all that's gonna be rated gore and horror.
And then you got Hellsing Abridged, where like when what's his face Father Alexander Anderson cuts off his head, he goes, it goes decapitation.
Anyways, hon, I'll check your Xbox right now.
Why?
He pooped him.
Did you give me the Rising 4?
Maybe.
I have that on. I have that on. I have that on X. I have that on Xbox as well, by the way. In the future. In the future, yes. If you ever, I don't know, is it on Xbox One? Because I had to play it off my 360, Case Zero and Case West. I had to use my 360. That's on Xbox One as well? It wouldn't let me play it off my Xbox One, is the thing.
What is?
Case West and Case Zeros. Dead Rising 2 has two standalone DLC. Which I had to play off my Xbox One. I didn't know if you saw those on it. I don't think they can release those on anything because that was like there's a copyright issue among where they couldn't put it on anything else because they had hands of another developer working on it. Ah, fuck me in the ass 20 times. Jesus. Ah, Jesus. What is with your mic, dude? Are you?
I like the coolest part is. I don't have a job anymore, so I can just fucking play when I get up tomorrow.
You're fucking welcome.
Thank you. Now I have access to all of them, but
And Zero. Case Zero.
I'm surprised that it's on sale now.
Wait, it was on sale. That's why you were able to do it?
Yeah, $10.
Yeah, he said it was like 40 or 50 the other day. That was the reason why that was the reason why he didn't buy it the other day. When he bought you RE2.
Yeah, that's why. You know, he probably would have had more money if I would have left over if I would have asked for RE7, not RE7, RE4 because it was like $7-something.
Yeah, but honestly, 4 is a good game, but it's already like it's older. It's a bit older.
Yeah,
You wouldn't have liked it as much, I don't think, as 2. Or 8. Well, definitely not. I mean, I like it, but not as much as 8 myself. It's one of my favorite games just because I'm into action. Like, I enjoyed the action in both those games. But my favorite one, though, one of my favorite games, though, is RE2's remake. It is one of the best ones.
Yes. The only reason I don't think I'll like it is because the camera angle.
In what, 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good.
That's the issue I have with the older Resident Evils. Is that I don't really care much.
Well, you're a bit younger. I don't expect you to care too much a lot on PlayStation anyway.
I'm not used to it.
A
I'm
lot
not
on
used to
a lot on the original PlayStation. Yeah, I know.
One of my favorite games, I think you might remember this one, because it was like a James Bond game. One of my favorite games of the original PlayStation was Siphon Filter.
Ah.
Really?
Yes, I've had that game and a game. I think it was just called I think it was just called 007. But I've had a James Bond game on PlayStation.
Are you 007, sir?
So basically, it's basically the 007 version of Raiden from Street Fighter. Like the way his hair is. It's basically 007 Nathan Drake actually for basically. And dude, I had the first one and the second one on for the other one I like is Soldier Heroes. It was basically a Green Army Men game.
Ah, yes.
You do remember Soldier Heroes?
Yes, I've seen it. I've never played it.
So this one was really hard for me because
Damn it.
for like a while I didn't know I could press the center button on the controller and I could use the joystick to play a regular PlayStation 2 game. So I was using the D-pad to move.
Nice.
I know, like one of my I'm getting too excited. I need to take deep breaths.
On, don't get yourself asphyxiated.
I really didn't enjoy. Well, yeah, fuck.
On.
Meow.
Breathe. Alright, now try to speak.
No.
Yes!
It said you didn't send me it yet.
Weird, because I just sent it to
Send what?
Even though
Jesus, come on, dog. I tried to roll out of that, but I rolled in it, and then in it, and then in it, then in it, then in it, then in it, then inside me. Roll inside me.
you. Could have fallen out.
yeah, because all it shows Resident Evil 2.
Resident Evil.
Well, I just sent it to you, so it's probably gonna take a minute to get there.
Resident Evil 1,000,000.
Oh, I might get my hands on Resident Evil, I don't know.
It's a good series. Depends if you like survival horror and or action survival horror, because it changes. Even the remakes of the originals are more puzzly than 4 and than 4, 5, 6, and 8, 7 and 8 are.
Oh, that felt great.
Good. Like even the bosses in the originals were a bit differently fought, where they had like weak points to shoot, while
Birkin still has his weak points.
yeah, like
Nice.
well, yes, every boss has their weak point. In the newer ones, it was more easier to get at. Like the older ones, you had to wait for Birkin to open his eyes or whatever and shoot him in certain spots, like behind his back or on his head or whatever. Like it kind of felt more like the fight with Jack almost, but different also. Like even with Nemesis, it felt more straightforward than that. But I do miss a lot of the older ways of fighting some of the fights, especially with Birkin and the way they did it. But at least now every game is not ending with, not every game seems to not end with like a massive self-destruct of a facility. More of other things. You're a hooker.
I'm a hooker. I'm a cat.
Did you get that?
I'm a meow.
Did you get it now?
No.
Yes.
Yes?
Whatever, I'm ready.
Don't touch me.
I will love the fuck out of anybody who can get me map security breach. I want the that's the biggest game, right? I know, not to say this, but what's for the future?
I can see the future.
No, you can't.
Become your sugar daddy.
I can see the future.
No!
Yeah.
Futures can see, the future can see you. Four, you mean?
No, I don't even have. Here's the thing. Or yeah.
Ah.
Bitch. Well, games. All you need now is just get out. Yes.
Take that.
So is it gonna, so from what you can remember, or what you played, is it gonna control like this? Now to an entirely new control style.
It
Like the end.
should be similar to 3, where where the camera and controls are a bit more actiony and more fast-paced than what you felt in 2. You felt the difference from 3 to 2, right?
Yeah.
And then 1, well, yeah, it's gonna be more like 3.
But one's controls, oh my god.
Well, compared to how much it's changed and it's actually more, it actually got into its own style. Yes, it's a massive change and an upgrade. Like it's not. It's here's the thing. I grew up with it in my ass. I played it since 2006. Like yeah, its controls are pretty bad, but I've gotten used to it. Even I. But
Technically, Brett, if anybody can say they grew up with it, it's me.
why? I played it.
Born 2002.
I know, but I've played the franchise since it started.
I know. My brother also was born the year it came out.
I'm not saying. Well, here's the thing. I was in high school still, so I can say that I grew up with the franchise in regards to actually being there since it started in 2006. Like, here's the thing. I grew up with Kingdom Hearts as well, because I remember reading about Kingdom Hearts 1 in the Game Informer back on PS2. Technically, I was born well before that, so it's kind of the same thing. But no, yeah, I didn't grow up with it, no, but I've been around the whole franchise.
The one thing I enjoy about the Rising that I do not enjoy about Resident Evil is that at least they had the comic courtesy not to put dogs in the fucking game. Like, you know how annoying dogs would be in this fucking game?
The Wii version had fucking that dumb poodle thing that died or that became a zombie in the beginning of the first game. Like there was versions of that around in the Wii version.
Technically, I won't have all the versions, all of the Dead Risings until I get
The
the
Wii version, yeah, because that's the only one that there's a change and an actual second re-release of. Dead Rising's other release are just the original. And then, I mean, they have like other, you know how like games get a further release, but it's usually just DLC with it or whatever. There's other stuff like packs that you can buy or whatever, different versions of the game But yeah, no, Dead Rising 1, Wii version, and Xbox original are the only two that there's versions of. And that's the only one that got released once. So modern Dead Rising 1, I don't know if that'll ever go on, or since it's got different controls, I don't know if it can be adapted as easily. Not that the touch controls or the motion controls were really a major factor, but I don't know if they'll ever port the Wii version. Ow. Stop! Screaming in the mic!
Sorry.
Like, I don't think they'll ever release the Wii version on any other medium. Yeah, when you don't scream in the mic, please. That was loud, really loud.
Sorry, I just got hit in the back.
No, it's fine. I expect that. That really was in my ear. I'm not mad at you. I know, dude. I would scream right now if something hurt. I don't. It's a reaction. It's just. Oh, that's why I was calming you, so you didn't blurt out everything in my ear. It's all good.
Also, when you mix the bulldozer and the ambulance together, and you press Y, the front of it pops out and sends zombies flying.
Nice. Yeah, I don't. Honestly, I've played a lot of Dead Rising, but only really one. I haven't played the others that much. I played 2 a handful of times off the record, but 3 I've only played a bit of with my own end, and beat it with 0. You're my technically second run of it. And I haven't really, so I don't really focus a lot on weapon creations, but I do here and there. I just don't really know a lot of them either, so I can't be like 2. I'm gonna be far less on. 1 is the only one I really played enough to really, because it's more simple. What?
What?
You just have the original Xbox One, right? Yours is black?
Oh, I got.
No, mine's white.
Mine's the 1S.
I got
Mine is the same as yours.
I got the I got the white Xbox One.
Who the fuck is that one?
I believe mine is the slim.
It really shouldn't matter because you're able to give me RE2.
Well, it's still an Xbox One. It doesn't matter what version you buy it from, as long as you give them whatever code. Because I was able to do the same thing with Mercer when I gifted him Dead Rising.
Well,
Dead Rising.
When he gave me Dead Rising 3.
I bought it off my Xbox. It should have sent. What? I don't. He sent you the same way I did, right? You didn't give a code, so that would have immediately. Yeah. He gifted it through the store.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, it was gifted through the store, yeah. It should just pop up. I don't. Maybe it's server was being down. Maybe the server's out.
Oh, I know.
Why?
It's a get code.
Ah, see? Haha.
Same problem I think me and you had, Brett.
Here. Honey.
Hey, just do it on my. I could like. Just I think you could do it off my account because my account's on your Xbox.
Yeah, but then it wouldn't download onto yours.
True.
You're true.
Frosty Donuts.
Yes.
I like the good old classic Homer Simpson one.
Donuts.
That's a good donut.
Donuts. Anybody here plays The Simpsons Hit and Run?
I have.
I think I have once.
I'm not a big fan of Crazy Taxi, but it was fun for what it was.
Basically, what Hit and Run is, it's Grand Theft Auto Simpsons.
Yeah, I mean, it's Crazy Taxi, where you pick up people and you get money based on your driving. I mean, so it has the element of Grand Theft Auto, where,
Taxi.
yeah, like, the element of Grand Theft Auto where you're based on how your driving is, where you get rated. Instead of getting arrested, you get paid less or more.
I want to see Marge Simpson dance again.
And then there's a lot of damage to property. You can just have fun crashing around. So it's a.
Can you get out of the car and walk around?
Yes, you can. I believe you can. Yes.
What about, do you swap between Homer, Lisa?
Oh yeah, you can
Marge,
you can
and
use
Bart?
yeah you can use other characters. Oh yeah.
The Hit and Run is basically where you beat a section of the game, and then you basically as one character, and then you beat the other section as another character.
Something like that. I've never really played the game.
Oh, did you see that live, like, Vine? It was either Vine or TikTok of the, like, people dressing up as, like, Homer Simpson and Lisa.
I have not.
Oh, damn you, sweetie. You're not kind to me.
No.
Alright. Yeah. Oh, that's not good.
What?
Oh, that serious bonus. Get nothing. Let me just blow a freeze out and blow this damn planet up.
Nah, it's a skill and I have two of them though. Yay.
Take this freezer. Oh, that didn't go well. Yeah, that-
Hey, you're playing Xenoverse?
yes, I'm eating it just to.
Man, I wish they would make other genres of Dragon Ball games that. Yeah, they have Kakarot, but it's still.
And fighters, but
Yeah, but Fighters is still a fight. Like, Fighters is another fighting game. Like, yeah, Xenoverse has more RPG elements, so does Kakarot, but they're all, like, they still keep a fighting formula. Even though Kakarot's action-oriented. I'm hoping more for, like, a full-on, like, RPG out of the story. Yeah, more like the Legacy of Goku, just on console. Because that was more of like an adventure RPG, kind of like Zelda, or well, it had like you get typical RPGs always had like side quests and stuff. Legacy of Goku always had these like side quests that you can do for levels and stuff or items, you know, typical stuff. Then they would have like gear and armor that you equip, like in Boost Fury, you would equip your typical armor and stuff. Or the Attack of the Saiyans is another one. Where it's literally just Final Fantasy but Dragon Ball with the Saiyan arc. But
The Saiyan arc?
yep, they did from the end of Dragon Ball where you face Piccolo, and then it leads into the Vegeta fight. So you go through Raditz and a bunch of other nonsense and all that. So yeah, I wish they would have made a sequel with that, or they could see these are handheld though, like fusions and all that. I wish they would do something more like those games, but on a console. Like I can see a Legacy of Goku is a bit more action oriented than RPG, but it's not like Kakarot. It's more of an adventure. It has like a beat 'em up style, similar to Zelda. It's like kind of like how Zelda is. It's kind of style of combat. Like they could easily do something more. That's what I thought Kakarot was going to be. Hence the name Dragon Ball Kakarot, because it's like Legacy of Goku. You know, that's what a lot of people. That's what. Or they have. I don't know if you had a Wii. They have Revenge of King Piccolo, which is
Oh, yeah,
like it's a fighter beat 'em up kind of, but it was an adventure mode too. It was an adventure game too. It was fun. I liked. Yeah, it was a good fun. It was a good game that they told the story of Dragon Ball for a good portion of it.
You're ready for the hero console.
Like-
Nobody uses it.
Like yeah, you don't usually get a lot of games out of Dragon Ball, so it was nice to have something.
Dude, I can get Red Dead Revolver for $14.99 on here.
That's a little expensive. I'd expect it to be cheaper than that.
Fuck that.
Dead Rising 2 is like $5.99 right now.
God, I'm an ally against Rick at the toe. I'm alien.
So how do I buy it? How do I get it? I'm trying to get it, but it's like
If it's a code, you have to find the redeem code spot or whatever, right? And it should download after that, or bring you to a page where you can do so. Yes.
Yes, sir.
it says oops, not sure what happened. Please try again later.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
equip it. Hey, Layden. Hey, it's going well. How are you doing? Just expanding on the map. Day's going well. I'm joined by Mercer and his lovely Brady. How was you?
This is some bullshit.
Been kind of busy? Oh, good. It's good to see you too. Thank you for stopping by.
You okay, huh?
Mercer, what is happening? Your download fucking up?
Redeem gift card. I only have. Yeah, I only have. Redeem fucking gift card.
It's good to see you're here, Lynn. I hope everything's going well. What is shooting at me? Oh, you. How dare you?
You should say if you go on a floor, it says
Oh wait, do I actually have to go to like to do it, or can I just go to redeem codes?
There should be a redeem code option. And then you just type in a certain digit code. Yes. It should tell
Hey, I went to the game to try to redeem the code.
I was about to say, yeah, okay, what is happening? Yeah, you don't even it doesn't, yeah, when you buy a card, usually it tells you where to put it. It'll give you instructions. Everything's going well? That's good. That is good. Unfortunately, the job I was going to have at Daveland, they actually decided to end their assignment because I was a temp. Mercer, please. I was a temp. This is a different thing. So technically, I'm not fired in a general sense. I'm let go because they didn't want. I guess after 2 days, something was. I don't know. But yeah, I already have something lined up. So hopefully, as long as it goes well, even if I keep losing jobs, I should be able to hopefully find something. But yeah, no, I'm a little slow. I'm a little slower. It takes me a little bit to learn a lot of times. I'm also like very bad at a lot of basic math. That also usually comes into a factor sometimes when I'm keeping track of certain stock or whatever. It wasn't that big of an issue when I was working at Sears because I was loading the truck, but this other job had me. There's a lot of stuff that yeah. It's gonna take a bit. My street intelligence is more brilliant than my book smart, but even then I have moments where I'm dumb, but when I'm logical in something, I'm technically brilliant in those aspects.
love you.
I've always been a shut-in and a gamer just because getting bullied most of my life and a lot of things. I've just been to myself and usually just gamed as an outlet. Not that I was horrible at school. It started to slowly drop down as I went to high school and college, but I still have, while GPA isn't exactly a measure of skills, I still have a 2.5 GPA. I'm not stupid, but some of my knowledge of things that are kind of a necessity, math and like history, not as a necessity, but still like I know jack shit of history. Unfortunately, some of those aspects are also some things I don't really care for, and with my attention span, it's hard to learn that. I took art and graduated with an associate's in college, and I even hated the history I had to learn on some of it. I don't even know how I passed math in that class at all. But, like, I'm not stupid, I know that. I know you don't. I'm just saying, like, I don't know jack shit. Math, yes, here and there, but history, not so much. It's just whenever people talk about anything, I can't add to the conversation because I literally don't know jack about even like more like popular people in the past or any influenced people, any like stuff with presidents, all the big history stuff, like a lot of the shit like that I forgot over the years. I appreciate you, Angel. But yeah, like I've never let it bring me down. I'm just a little slower to learn. I've always had a harder time. Well, I was even pushed to a lower learning level in high school. You love my rambles? I appreciate it. I'm glad I have someone to listen to me. Let's give you that. Let's grab the Jesus. I got caught into talking. Let's give you that shout out.
So is it working now?
Everyone learns at different speeds. Oh, I know, but that like I've always with jobs, with some of the jobs in my youth, earlier youth, it was a lot of reasons why I never got hired early on in a lot of the jobs I had when I was younger. I would get let go just because I couldn't keep up or something. So like it's not even that bad. My first assignment that I had with PeopleShare, the job agency, was Sears, and I've lasted for almost 4 years there. So if I find this, I was like working on it was more like a pulley system, and I would basically box this rubber hosing, and there's a lot more that goes into that than just boxing it. You have to keep track of a certain amount if you don't have enough, and you have to pay attention to see if any of it's faulty. You know, you have to cut the bad and whatnot. And there's a lot more going into it. If you don't exactly have the certain amount that they want packaged, then you would have to do some paperwork stuff. There's a lot more going into it, and I guess and then loading it on a pallet a certain way. I've never been good with that kind of organization. So I've always been a little slower because of that. Minimize your feelings. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm just letting people. I'm just saying that's like that's why I've always had harder times with certain things like keeping jobs or having certain things, because I usually just am slower. It takes me a while to pick up on things. I sometimes do look stupid. I'm not gonna say I am, but there's times where I can look foolish. No, you're all good, Leighton. I appreciate you listening to me. Look, streaming has honestly made me some of the happiest I've really ever been. Being able to talk to people like you and Mercer and a lot of the mods that I've become friends with over the years, like Al and Charlotte and even Mercer now and Chocolate Chip and Cashmere and a lot of those other people. Like, yeah, I've made some really good friends online, and I'm very happy.
I want chocolate chip gum.
Oh, I appreciate you, Leiden. Thank you. I've never actually had someone tell me that before. I've had people tell me that I'm their favorite, but I've actually never seen that person again. At least I don't think so. But I've had that, yes. I've had a lot of old comments on my YouTube back in the day that I was happy to like see over the years. Like there's 5-year-old comments that I have never seen. It's like, I used to have these. What the fuck? My shitty content, even though these were newer, older content, so the quality was better. You know, this was Elgato Days of Dark Souls videos, so the quality's a little better. But people liked my content despite some of the horrible quality I put out. Oh, thank you. I know I've realized that I've actually entertaining. I wouldn't have had the growth that I've had over the last several months. It's slowed down, but it's still there. Like, my average at one point was almost 5. Whenever I get my email, it was like 4 point something. It dropped a bit, but still. It's all thanks to people like you, Leighton. Thank you. And Mercer and everyone else. You guys are beautiful, and I love all of you. And it's good to see you. I did miss you. So what are your plans right now, Leighton? What are you just doing tonight? Just hanging out here? Mercer, you figured it out?
Yep, it's downloading right now. I sadly had to get rid of PSO.
Nah, do you actually like PSO? You said something about not like.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you said something about where you were not, didn't like
I
it.
don't like the original PSO. I like New Genesis.
You've watched my videos.
Yes, I do not like the original PSO.
Oh, the original PSO2. Okay.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I know Phantasy Star Online has issues, but it's actually actually more my speed. I like it better. But again, I have history with this.
It was the biggest game I had.
You know, Phantasy Star Online
And plus,
2.
I'm not done playing Division 3 yet, or else I would have gotten rid of 3 instead of the Melod 4.
Yeah, to be honest, I do enjoy like the levels from 2. I miss like how the system was because I'm kind of not used to how all this new is. But PSO2 I didn't like as much in general, but there's a lot more MMO bullshit, and I'm kind of meh. PSO is just a bit simpler for me. Going back on that, Layden, I know you asked me about Phantasy Star Online. Yeah. One of my favorite sci-fi RPGs from the Dreamcast era. Even though it's been on Sega, Phantasy Star is an old franchise. It was a competitor to Final Fantasy at some point. They don't have as many games, but it was on... I never played the originals until they came out on Game Boy Advance. And even that's missing the 4th one. If you go watch YouTube, you're gonna have to teach me about this. Oh, I'm definitely gonna... If you're big into sci-fi stuff, I think if you have a good computer, I definitely would love to show you PSO2. I don't know what you really is your speed with games, but it's a fun action RPG. You can even go check out my YouTube channel and see if you actually are curious, because while PSO is dead, it has a private server. It's an easier game that your computer could handle more, but it has issues where it detects it as a virus while it's not. That's a game I can play with you as well. But PSO is also on PSO2 is on Xbox, so if you don't play off console or PC, I can play off that with you. Which they are backwards compatible. Or not backwards compatible, I mean cross-platform, rather. But yes,
I kind of made a math difference at first.
What the okay. Random thought.
Sorry, that was ordinary.
Very. That's you, the Chimera. Ow. Ow. Fuck me. In the ass. Stop fucking me. Stop fucking my ass. Alright. I've already bought this. It's 10 case. Hilarious. No, I'm down to teach anyone. I was excited to play PSO, and then Mercer wanting to get into it was exciting. And then Zero, my buddy, who was like, hey, it was just like awesome. Even getting Chocolate Chip to want to play it was interesting. Ow. Oh my god. Oh. Woo! Goodbye, me. Did you come here, you archer bastard? Jesus Christ. I really gotta learn these enemies. Oh. One pissed off jellyfish.
Our server, please.
What? What?
We have a server.
In my Discord, you mean?
No, like on Discord, our own server.
Ah, you made your own channel?
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell me about them all years? Same for you, and I appreciate it. Oh, I almost just walked right off to my death. Not the first time I've done that. Right there, you can notice my attention sometimes. That's actually how I play. I don't really pay attention to my surroundings very well. Why I'm useless when I'm trying to explain where something is in a video game when I'm not there looking at the screen. Because I don't really recognize and go by buildings and the... Ironically enough, that's kind of how I drive. Ugh. That's why I don't know... Well, my sense of direction is awful also. But I don't know street names. I go more by landmarks, and even that doesn't really help me. Oh yeah, I'm driving by the 7-Eleven. Where's this at? I don't know. Random tangent, sorry. Don't roar at my face. Meow. Ah, motherfucker, that's my ass! Got you! Whoa, you raging motherfucker. It very so. Oh. God. Damn it. I didn't realize I was out of Estus. It's a little closer. That's a little closer to my door. Why is he? He's trying to leave. Motherfucker.
God, that's gonna cause me noise, sorry.
That's all good.
It's like a piece of after bypass.
Damn it. It's all the way back him. He's gonna rush at me first. Whoa!
Yajirobe's outfit is actually
Yajirobe's? Which one? Oh, his usual. Okay. I didn't know if he had other like outfits. Does he not have feet? Excuse me. That's better. All right.
Yeah, he doesn't wear shoes.
I know he wore sandals.
Weird man. That's lame, but okay.
So that was an easy fight once I got the hang flow of his movesets.
So, how old is Yajirobe?
Well, he was already looking the same as always in Dragon Ball, so I'm gonna say probably be back when I can. Take your time, sweetheart. I want to say he's got to be adult, so I want to say probably pushing 60 by the end of Z, 70 when he close to like 60 something at the end of Z, I think.
Do you remember him in the Goku Black arc?
Yes.
I like that version of him.
I mean, he kind of looks like that at the end of Z. I mean, I remember him getting jacked as shit, too. Despite his fatness. But yeah, he also just grows out facial hair and... Gonna make some food? Alright, cool. Make me some. I would love some food. Your cooking sounds delicious. A good home meal.
I wonder what Chi-Chi's cooking today.
Probably delicious. I'm not a fan of all the... I'm not a fan of fish, so... But... I know she can make some good meals.
Bulma probably doesn't cook in the life.
Who?
Bulma can't cook, probably.
I mean, she normally has chefs. I don't know if she can actually cook. She probably can. She's very innovative and always had, like, shit, even though she's always had crap prepared for whenever she went into space. It's just, she feels very crafty, enough to go out on her own at 15. Like, according to Jocko, she was fucking building shit and flying while she was, like, not even 10.
God damn.
Like, Bulma's... So, even, like, I know knows how to make food and cook. Like, she's very brilliant. Yeah, her and her family are very brilliant. I remember Tights mentioning she graduated very early, and she's, like, in her 20s, probably, or something like that. In the start of Dragon Ball, with, you know, Jocko took place right at the start, because he was sent to take care of Goku. But he noticed Goku actually never did anything.
Yeah, because Goku's a good boy.
Well, he wouldn't have been as a good boy if he never hit his head. This was all right when Goku first landed.
He
Yes.
probably would have joined Raditz spinning in his head.
It really does. I don't know if it would go that smoothly still. Eventually, like, probably he would have been brought into normalcy, but he would have been much more violent. I don't know. He definitely would have been more violent. If he still would have been good or not, I don't know. He would not have been pure-hearted, let's just say that.
Oh, definitely. Oh, I found Popo.
Po!
Wake up, bitch. I wonder how old Popo is now. He has to be. He's older than Kami, I think.
I wouldn't know.
I think it's time you know the pecking order. It goes
It's you, the dirt, the worms inside, the Popo stool,
stool,
Kami,
then
then
Popo.
Popo, then Popo, then Kami. But
Actually,
yeah, it's Popo, then Kami is above Popo.
Goes you.
Popo, stool, Popo, then Kami. Any questions?
Oh, yeah, I have.
Go the clan back. Yeah, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. The Krillin count on that is some of the best. The early Krillin counts are some of the best.
So in the actual show, does Goku flip out when he sees Popo?
No,
No. They made that a joke because he was reliving a training with him as a kid, but no. It's more of like, whoa, what are you? You're strong. Like, he freaked out when he saw Kami at first. I mean, that's different.
Yeah, it's almost King Piccolo.
That's different. Yeah, no, he did that, but he never was like, who the hell are you? I mean, he thought that, but in a different sense.
Who the hell are you?
he saw how strong he saw that Popo is actually stronger than King Piccolo. And Kami as well. The only reason why Kami doesn't do anything, and also why he's weaker than Piccolo, is because one, Piccolo is more of the fighter, but also he's getting old. Like, Kami was strong. Very. Piccolo, when he reunited with him, he was as strong as 17. He would have, if he was there when he actually fused with Nail, he actually put up a fight against Frieza. Briefly. Like, he wasn't weak by any... Like, it's a massive boost in power, yeah, because Frieza's over 1 million. But...
You know what I kind of want to see?
Huh.
Like, fuse Piccolo during, like, the Cell arc. Like, the first form Cell. Like, them fusing before, like, 17.
Yeah.
Do you think Cell would have been dead there?
Well, he could have beaten Cell when he fought him when he first encountered him. Because that was the whole reason why he fused. But first, Cell did his crafty thing and got away. Yeah, Cell was weaker than... Or Cell was way weaker than Piccolo and 17 and 18 at the time of him absorbing everybody. Oh yeah, by far. He would have lost. Like, he was losing. Like, he was just crafty. Because he has everyone's brains, everyone, in him. So he was crafty. He's no different than Piccolo. It's essentially fighting himself. But Piccolo was stronger out of the two, definitely. Yes, Cell would have died. In their initial encounter. Piccolo is much stronger than a Super Saiyan.
He's a Super Namek.
Yep. That's what he technically is always... He's also been referenced as a Super Namekian because, remember in the movie with Lord Slug? He was a Super Namekian because he was able to go giant. Guess what Piccolo can do?
Couldn't go giant.
Yep. He also, he's always been referenced. He's probably the strongest Namekian warrior besides Nail, and we all know how weak Nail was compared to how Piccolo was. Like, Piccolo was weaker than Nail on Earth, yes, but like his potential though is far greater. I mean, of course, he's the main character still, but. Like, he surpassed Nail eventually anyway. But Nail was pretty strong. He was like, what, 25,000, something like that?
I think.
He was around the level of Dodoria. He wouldn't have been able to beat Zarbon's second phase, but he would have been able to possibly he would have been able to do damage to Dodoria, because Dodoria's kind of stupid. Oh yeah, on Namek, Nail's the strongest. Like, technically Piccolo's far surpassed him now, but then again, Nail is in him. Nail is still part of Piccolo, it's not like they defused. But yeah, this... Huh?
Do you think if Piccolo would have done the same thing, fused every single one of them on Namek, would he stand a chance against Frieza?
Frieza now? You mean currently?
Yeah.
Possibly? I mean,
Namek...
Piccolo still trains, too. Piccolo still trains, so I want to say eventually yes. It's potential, especially now with his new form. He potentially is, if it's equivalent to what Gohan has, just... I don't know if Piccolo has great potential or anything as a Namekian, but... Definitely including that, I'm going to say yes for the moment. But if it was just that scenario with him doing what Universe 6 Saiyans did, or Namekians did, I want to say yes. Because Piccolo is different from the Salna and whatever, PNL or whatever their name was.
Yeah, because they're more like a bluish tone of Namekians compared to the greener tones.
I also feel like Piccolo has greater potential than those two. So I think him fusing with a lot of the warriors, including Nail alone, buffed him up a lot. Like he was able to go toe to toe somewhat with Frieza, enough to survive. Like, still he would have lost. Frieza was toying with him, but he did transform again because of it. So I'm just saying, like, I want to say yes, potentially he could As of right now, with Super's new form on him, yes. Because Frieza doesn't train. We all know this. Piccolo still does. He's basically Jiren, because he meditates. I don't really know the full extent